Hello and welcome to another smartphone review with strong German accent. This time we are going to have a look at a very interesting smartphone, which is the Oppo Find X6. It's actually not the Pro version. We have reviewed the Pro version too, but this is the standard version. This smartphone has another main camera sensor than the Pro version. It's a Sony IMX890. The same sensor is also there for zoom, 3x zoom, and we have a Samsung JN1 50 megapixel sensor as an ultra-wide angle lens. And we are going to check out how well this smartphone is performing while recording videos. Let's go! Alright, we are going to go through this test with the highest possible setting, which is 4K with 60 frames per second. We get this resolution for all the sensors, and we are going to start with the main camera. As we can see, the smartphone is definitely capable of stabilizing those videos excellently, so there are not many shutterings. Even if I move, the video is looking very smooth. The color reproduction of those videos is very natural. I would especially highlight that the Oppo Find X6 has a very natural color reproduction, which is maybe an advantage over Samsung or, for example, the iPhone, if you prefer those colors. The autofocus is also working flawlessly, as we can see here. There's absolutely no problem. You can also go very near to objects, it's no problem. And talking about the dynamic range, yeah, I would say this is the point where some other smartphones are a little bit stronger. It's not that the smartphone has problems with the dynamic range, but if we look at the sky, for example, it's not capable of really preserving much details if there are strong differences in the contrast of the scenes. Apart from that, I'm really happy with the camera quality we get here, and we are going to have a look at the ultra-wide angle camera now. Okay, this is a video with the ultra-wide angle camera. I would say that this camera is the biggest downgrade in comparison to the Pro model, but it's still far away from being a bad ultra-wide angle camera. As we can see, we get also a pretty nice color reproduction. The colors are a little bit more dull, and it has not kind of this capability to bring strong contrasts as does the main camera. For example, over there, the green area with the shadows, it's kind of all dark, and the main camera would give us a better quality here. But apart from that, we get nice details, not a strong distortion at the edges, and also this camera features an autofocus, so we can use it to make macro recordings, which is also really nice, I would say. The focus is also working perfectly fast, and we get a nice and good stabilization even if we are walking with the phone in the hand. So I would say the ultra-wide angle camera is a downgrade to the main camera, clearly, and it is also a downgrade in comparison to the Oppo Find X6 Pro, but it's still a good ultra-wide angle camera. Especially I like those capabilities of going really near to objects with the macro, with a kind of macro look, thanks to the autofocus of this camera. Okay, and here we can have a look at the zoom camera. The zoom camera actually has the same sensor as the main camera and is also stabilized with an optical image stabilization, and this quality actually is really nice. We get the same strong colors and natural colors as we get from the main camera. There is sharpness all over the image, so also the edges of the image do look sharp, and I can definitely move with the phone in my hand even though it's a 3x optical zoom. There is also an autofocus on this camera, as we can see here, and we can also use it for kind of macro-like recordings, which also do look pretty nice. I would definitely say this is one of the best zoom cameras we get in modern smartphones, and it is really good. The dynamic range is, I would say, the same as the main camera. It's not the strength of this smartphone, but it's not bad. So I switched to 4K with 30 frames per second, because only in this resolution we can switch between the camera lenses during the recording. This is a feature that most high-end smartphones lack, and unfortunately the Oppo Find X6 is no exception here. But now we can switch between the cameras, and we can also have a look at the differences between the image quality. This is the ultra-wide angle camera and the main camera. And if we go into 3x zoom, which is now, it switched to the zoom camera. It's a pretty nice feature and I definitely like it. For me it would have been perfect if Oppo... Let's get to the selfie camera. The selfie camera also has an autofocus. This is something which you rarely find even in high-end smartphones, so I can go very near to my face, for example, or further away, and you will always get the perfect sharpness. This is really nice. This is definitely nice that Oppo included an autofocus in the main camera. Also, I really like the color reproduction of this camera. It is natural. It's not too orange, not too red, not too white. There's also no kind of filter on it, so my face looks kind of like it looks in real life. And yeah, we get a okay dynamic range. Yeah, if we look now here, the background is blurring out a little bit because of all the light, but yeah, it's not really bad. It's just, I would say, average. What unfortunately is below average for a high-end smartphone is that there is no possibility to record with the front camera in 4K resolution. So you are fixed to full HD, what you can see now. At least the videos are well stabilized. You have to activate the stabilization for the front camera manually, which is a little bit strange, but if you activate it, the videos are stabilized and you can move with the phone in your hand without a problem. Alright, let's get to a short verdict. I would say main camera is stellar. It's wonderful. It maybe doesn't have the best dynamic range of all smartphones, but the colors look natural. The autofocus is working so fast, and you get this vivid but still natural look. I definitely like it. The ultra-wide angle camera, I would say, yeah, it's average for a high-end smartphone. It's still impressive what Oppo got out of this Samsung JN1 sensor, which is typically a sensor for the mid-range smartphones. And the quality is good, but it's a downgrade to the ultra-wide angle camera and to the zoom camera. The zoom camera, on the other hand, is stellar. It's wonderful. The quality is just like with the main camera. Natural colors, good dynamic range, and a fast focus, and overall a really good video quality. The selfie camera, on the other hand, yeah, has the potential to be stellar because it has an autofocus and a very natural color reproduction, which not all smartphones offer. But unfortunately, Oppo is limiting us to 1080p resolution. For a high-end smartphone, this is not really good. So the selfie camera for videos, I have to say, unfortunately, is below average.